What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another one. We got SCP-3165. Yeah, that's right. I said we back with SCP on the IsiahCozy channel. I know y'all missed it. Finally remonetized, finally doing things. Back here, it feels good. But still go subscribe to I'm Still Cozy and go subscribe to the main channel. We're gonna be playing SCP Contain Beach, but that's neither here nor there. We got Dog Teeth SCP-3165. This look kind of crazy. It look like a bald cat, a big bald cat. But let's check it out, bro. Shout out my guy, the Rubber. Let's get on. Let's get this on.
She wanna know where I be. She wanna know, yeah. Walking that bitch, designer all over my sleeve. Walking with slime, yeah. That nigga mad, cause she wanna leave with me. Shorty, she mine, yeah. I let her brag. I be fucking his bitch. She out her mind, yeah.
Is advised. She woke up in a dark place. It smelled of rot and urine.
She probably pissed herself, to be honest.
Before she could ascertain her location, the
no, you getting 2-step, 3-step, 5-step, punted. Bro, what is that? That look like, I don't even know. For some reason, I want to say it looked like a Mississippi train wreck, but I don't even know what that means. It got random thoughts coming into my mind. Dude, that is like a baby back undead on 4 zombie dog. I don't even, like, you can't describe that. There's no words in my vocabulary that can even define what I'm looking at right now. That's half wolf, half human. That's not a werewolf. That's a wolf were.
Wolf, half human, pressed up right in front of her, examining intently.
Like, that's not Taylor Lautner. This is not Twilight. It's not how they supposed to look. Take your strength.
With one side of its face, a horrible sight with uncanny human features.
Whose mans is this? Whose mans is this?
Laid across a canvas of one side of its face,
And
a horrible sight.
Bro, and that hot ass breath being, oh my.
With uncanny human features laid across a canvas of flesh. She remembered, it all happened so fast. The creature appeared out of nowhere and killed her partner. His neck was destroyed in a single bite, his torso torn apart.
That boy gone.
But somehow, she was spared. But not for long.
Because he wants some of that punnet.
As it grabbed her face, dug its claws into her flesh, and peeled off the skin. Hello everybody, I'm the Rubber. Today, we bring you a SCP Foundation Euclid class object, SCP-3165. SCP-3165, also known as Dog Teeth, is a humanoid female between the ages of 14 and 18, with severe malformation in its limbs and face. It lacks body hair, and its skin is devoid of pigmentation. The right half of 3165's face is obstructed by its upper and lower mandibles, which resemble that of a wolf.
Show me this. That long-ass head.
Its upper mandible lacks a nose, instead giving way to a soft crater where the nasal cavity has fleshed over. The bones of its feet are extended, and its hands are twice the length of an average adult human's.
I thought the Rubber put something else up. I was about to say, whoa.
Sharp fingernails that are also 3 times more durable. Since the time of its discovery, 3165's left cornea is milky white, suggesting late-stage cataracts. 3165 is incapable of producing human
that nigga started throwing up gang signs. So
Therefore,
I see
it
you, girl.
communicates through fractured sign language and certain
we throwing up
guttural
on the set,
vocalizations.
nigga. Fuck you talking about?
3165 was discovered by a group of amateur paranormal investigator group in an undisclosed location in Ukraine. Local authorities were contacted but unable to contain it, prompting the Foundation to send out a recovery team. The team arrived at the ruins. A faint smell of rotting bodies and feces permeated the air. It gets more pungent as they navigated deeper into the heart of the complex. Throughout the exploration, they came across various items littered on the ground: torn clothes, dried bones, unrecognizable biological masses, and broken recording devices which can't be salvaged. The team arrived at a dead end. There, they found several objects, most notably a locket, which contained an image of a young blonde woman, which was later identified as a missing person along with her partner after a visit to Ukraine. Both individuals were then presumed to have been killed by 3165. They have also found a face that has been separated and peeled away from the head.
How are you getting away with this, bro?
Rough cuts were observed around the eye sockets and mouth, suggesting the use of the skin as a mask. Soon enough, they started to hear a growl. 3165 was stalking them
Like,
from
how you work for the SCP Foundation and you getting scared? Finna get your team killed, boy. You better get
the shadows and had them cornered where it wanted them to be. Suddenly, 3165 pounced on the leader. Its claw ripped through his throat with ease. He was killed instantly. Panicked, the rest of the team immediately turned on their flashlights. 3165 was blinded for a moment and then pounced on its next target immediately. In the face of the onslaught, one of them fled the scene, leaving her alone.
Oh my god.
Her knees lost all strength. She fell to the ground as
So how are these SCP employees? If it's up to me, I'm Vince McMahon and all of them. You're fired. How are y'all getting away with this, bro? You're employed.
365 moved in closer to her. It examined her closely. Its claws reached for her face and started to feel around her cheeks and hair. She could feel something sharp was digging
said,
into
"Oh,
her
she's
skin."
pretty. I need
She
that.
tried to scream, but nothing came out of her. Suddenly, the wounded
Put that girl
teammate
in the
jumped on
chokehold.
3165 and jabbed a syringe full of ketamine onto its neck. Despite being heavily injured, he wouldn't let go as 3165 flailed around
alright,
and
bro.
clawed at him in an awkward position. Soon enough, the drug kicked in, and 3165 was immobilized. His valiant effort paid off, but unfortunately, he died soon after due to severe blood loss. A
RIP.
backup team arrived, and 3165 was transported into containment before the drug wore off. According to the assessment of a child psychologist, 3165 possesses the mental capacity and behaviors of a human child of roughly 6 to 7 years old, and
Makes
is able
sense.
to understand at least 200 words of the English language.
Makes sense.
3165 appears to prefer
Understand these. You ugly.
direct communications with females. Interactions with male personnel were met with hostility, as shown in one
Why are
incident
you-
when researcher Dr.
You
Donald
Dracula
attempted
bit?
to
Like,
interview
what
him.
the
Before
hungry?
entering the containment cell, he
I get
stopped
some
his
McDonald's?
security details to wait outside. But sir, the subject is highly volatile. It injured and killed some of my men. The researcher merely let out a hearty laugh and waved in dismissal.
Yeah, you're
That
getting
was
shot.
because you lot went in with guns. We need to do this with love. The security head tried to interject, but the researcher turned towards the door before he could. Watch and learn, gentlemen. Watch and learn. The security head sighed and ordered his team to set up beside the door and be ready to rush in when things go south. Dr. Donald strode in and closed the door with a loud bang, startling 3165 from its slumber. He greeted it with a smile and then briskly sat in front of it. But his friendly gesture was not
I was about to say,
reciprocated.
what type of gang signs
Instead,
he throwing up?
3165 let out an intense growl and pounced on him. It clawed at his torso, breaking his rib cage, and
And one hit?
bit off huge chunks of flesh in his right arm. Donald screamed as he clawed away from it, but 3165 wouldn't let him go. The security head called his team into action with immediate efficiency. Oh, for Christ's sake. All right, get in there. The team went in and shot 3165 with tranquilizer rounds. It let out a yelp and momentarily went limp on top of Dr. Donald. They gently pushed 3165 away from him, and Dr. Donald was carried out of the cell. By then, he had lost all consciousness. His right arm was tore to the bone, dangling from his shoulder.
Disgusting.
It
Ain't
looked
none of
just
those
as lively
SCP
as
can't
Donald's
fix.
expression with his dead
Nah, I'm
eyes
saying.
staring blankly through his broken glasses and white foam forming around his gaping mouth. And so, Dr. Warrens, a female researcher, was assigned to the task. She entered the cell with an accompanying guard, and 3165 turned from its drawing to face Dr. Warrens. She smiled and approached 3165 with caution. It growled at her lightly and nodded its head at her feet, indicating her to sit down. She sat. When Dr. Warrens asked how 3165 was
Bro,
feeling,
what is
it
these-
made the sign for pretty, then girl, and then pointed towards her. Dr. Warrens thanked 3165 and it squealed in glee. It then signed hair and want towards Dr. Warrens. It stroked the side of its head as if playing with its hair.
Because you bald, girl. You ain't...
Before Dr. Warrens could assure her
All right,
guard,
bro, what do you-
3165 suddenly jumped and scuttled up to her. Despite being shocked, Dr. Warrens stopped the guard from drawing his gun. 3165 played around her hair, and Dr. Warrens could feel that its claw was tugging at them lightly. Dr. Warrens then asked, "Why does it hurt people?" But it simply ignored her and continued to brush her hair. Dr. Warrens slowly pulled herself away before it reaches another hand. At this point, its growl began to sound increasingly
Right? Like,
hostile.
what are you doing? Why are
It
you on my
signed
body?
at her. Hair. Want. Pretty. Girl. Suddenly,
I would've been
it
like,
reached
shoot it.
forward and braced Dr. Warren's
I would've
face
been like, shoot
in its
it.
elongated hands.
No, sir, not me.
It drags its hands across her
No,
face
sir, not me.
as if measuring it and to carve it out. Its claws dug into her face and began to tear the skin. Dr. Warrens screamed and pushed 3165 away with all her strength. The guard immediately fired his taser at 3165. It let out a series of yelps and dropped to the floor. Its body throbbed and pulsed from the shot. Dr. Warrens was
Honestly, I just feel like it take one round of a 4.5 and it's gone. But we still keeping it around.
escorted out of the cell.
When she looked back, 3165, with all its strength concentrated in one of its hands, weakly signed, Pretty. Girl. Want.
Pretty. Glock. Shoot.
A tear slowly dripped from its eye.
I have no
Remember to check out
sympathy.
my new animation channel, The Rubber.
The Rubber Talks and the other one is like John Silverspoon or something like that.
We are proud to present these incredibly sweet pieces of fan art. A big
He definitely wasn't the Friday Night Funky mod that I just played. Hey, shout out to Rubber. This was fire. This is a weird one, bro. This is a weird one. But for sure, if you let me know what other ones that I need to do, what I missed. And per usual, y'all stay cozy. I'll see you on the next one, bro. Peace out.